Hello. Hi, hi, good morning, good afternoon. Yahoo, ohayo gozaimasu. I'm Freodore, designer of NIJISANJI EN's 11th unit by The Beat. NIJISANJI EN 所属 by The Beat のビジュアルセンスがこだわりのデザイナーフリオドールです。Hello everyone, hello everyone. Where's my... there you go. And also, since it's fitting for today's beans, 大家好，我是NIJISANJI EN 的 designer Freodore。我现在喝中国咖啡。I hope that was okay. But yeah, hi everyone. Today I'm gonna be trying coffee beans from China for the first time. I'm very excited to give it a try. I think for the past, I think it was last year, and it's not the first year that China wins the World Barista Championship, so I've been really interested about trying at least coffee from there, even if it's not roasted there. Coffee beans from there. I'll be talking a little bit about the beans further, but yeah. そうですね、今回中国の豆を初めて入れてみますね。昨年にバリスタの世界大会で1位のバリスタが中国のだったから、もう前から中国の豆を気になってたね。でもまあ中国の豆だけど海外で焙煎されたね。Anyways, without further ado, I think I can go ahead and introduce the beans. じゃあというわけで豆を紹介しようか。Where's my mark? Okay, there you are. So the recipe we're going to be doing today does not really change much from last time. The only thing we're going to be changing is the amount of water. We're going to be doing 240 grams instead of 250. The reason being that it's an anaerobic natural instead of a washed processed coffee. But yeah, this is if I believe it's pronounced Lao Shu Zhai anaerobic from Onyx Coffee. It's a coffee from I think the Yunnan province in China. I believe Yunnan is pretty known for their coffee beans, and Lao Shu Zhai should be a small village that produces coffee for various vendors. I think it's not only Onyx Coffee that sells beans from Lao Shu Zhai. I think other vendors as well do so. So it seems to be a pretty coffee-focused village. The process is an anaerobic natural, so the pulp is not removed when processing the coffee, and it's processed in an environment where there is no oxygen touching the beans. And the notes seem to be tamarind, dark chocolate, mango, and blackberry. This was super interesting for me because tamarind is a flavor that, as Latin American, I am very familiar with, but I wasn't really expecting from coffee. So I am very curious about that and how strong it is. And the roast is super light, which is, I believe they are called Nordic style coffees. I don't think I've ever explained that, but a Nordic style kind of roasting means that in order to keep it high in acidity and super light, they roast the coffee until the first crack of the bean, and then they stop. So it becomes like a very bright, fruity, and acidic kind of bean. So yeah, the beans we're going to be doing 15 grams. We're going to be doing 240 grams of water at 90 degrees Celsius. Since it's an anaerobic natural and not a washed process, we're going to go with a slightly lower temperature and slightly lower ratio as well. We're going to stick with the same usual grind of 30 clicks. And it's going to be the usual or the same double bloom recipe that we did last time. It's a pretty good, a pretty solid, stable recipe to try. I believe I can share the website for these beans if you guys want are more curious about information. これはこの豆のサイトね。You can find some information about the origin, the preferred extraction, and the notes. But something that is explained in the flavor notes is that it says this coffee is the result of a decade-long partnership between a smallholder community in Yunnan's Pu'er prefecture and Torch, built on trust, transparency, and shared experimentation. Through collaborative work in farming, processing, and post-harvest technique, this relationship has yielded a remarkably consistent and expressive natural coffee. Expect a vibrant, a heavy, and fruit-forward coffee with prominent notes of mango and dark chocolate. So, I guess we are to expect mango and dark chocolate to be the most recognizable notes, but really curious how strong the tamarind is. I believe this is also part of the Onyx Smallholder series, which means that they are collaborating with a small producer to release these coffees. In this case, the Zhai village. But yeah, really looking forward to trying them out. Just give me a second. I'm gonna be explaining in Japanese as well. そうですね。今回は前回と同じレシピで入れてみますね。ただ、お湯の量だけを少し変わりますね。今回は 240g で入れてみます。理由は、この生成過程がアナエロビックナチュラルだから、ウォッシュより香りがもっと、なんていうの単語メモ見てみる。なんか抽出かな？なんかこのプロセスの豆を抽出するのちょっとワッシュより難しいからお湯の量下げなくて方がいいと思ったね。いや、そうですね。今回は、ラオシュジャイ、アナエロビックの豆を入れてみますね。オニックスコーヒーの、このコーヒーの品種は中国のね。ラオシュジャイは、ユナンの、小さい村だと思いますね。なんか、結構、いろんなお店で、コーヒー豆をなんかプロセスじゃなくて8個かな ?8 個してるらしいし今回はアネックスコーヒーとラオシュジャイのコラボ豆ですね。味わいはタマリンド、ダークチョコ、マンゴーとブラックベリー。マジでタマリンドはめちゃくちゃに気になります。ラティンアメリカ圏としてタマリンドの味は結構慣れてるけどコーヒーで初めてだからほんまにどうだろう。でもサイトで一番わかる味わいはマンゴーとダークチョコレートって言ってたからまあ結構気になるね。そしてバイセンがスーパーライト結構スーパー浅入りかなスーパー浅入り英語ならノーディックスタイルのバイセンって言うけど、まあ、ただ結構酸味高くてフルーティー味わいのバイセンだ。そしてレシピが前回と同じですね。3ステップ。Oh, Lao shoot. Yeah, you're right. I wrote it on the recipe wrong. 確かにね、レシピで間違えたよ。Yeah, Tsu Zhai. That does not make sense. Oh, that's so embarrassing. I'm sorry. Uibuchi. There you go. I wrote it right in the title, right? I did. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Yeah, there it is. Lao Shu Zhai. I was getting it wrong. So without further ado, I believe we can go ahead and start the ASMR section of the stream. じゃあ、ASMR を始めましょうか。There you go. Gonna be switching the microphone setting. マイク設定も変わりますね。Should be able to hear my room better now. Okay, so while we're getting the water heated, let's open this bag of beans. お湯を温めるたびに豆を見てみましょう。Okay. These bags are filled with beans, so I need to be careful not to spill. 結構袋からこぼすのあかんでね。Alright. Let's give it a smell. I smell blackberry more than anything. It's not as fragrant as I was expecting though, considering it's a natural. It smells nice though. ちょっとなんか一番わかる味、香りがブラックベリーだね。まあ今だけど。思ったよりいやなんかちょっともっと香りがもっと強くだと期待してたね。でも結構いい匂いだ。ナチュラルだからね。Alright, let's start measuring 15 grams of beans. We're going to be doing around a 1 to 16 ratio. Okay. Don't spill. こぼさないで。Alright, I caught this one. Nice. They do look pretty light though. They do look pretty light compared to some of my other light roasts. 結構見たら軽いよね。スーパー浅いだ。There you go. 15 grams. 15 grams. Oh, there's something inside. Oh, there's a little note inside the package that gives me information about the bean. It says origin China, variety it's Katimor. It's a Katimor bean. I usually do not have Katimors. And yeah, it's from the Yunnan region. And it's actually giving me a recipe that they recommend. But that recipe is very different. It's like a pretty fine grind, 225 grams of water to 15 grams of coffee at 200 and... Oh, this is Fahrenheit. Wait. But, bird. But yeah, that's probably gonna be better for people that like a stronger cup, but we're gonna be doing our usual recipe. そうですね。パッケージでなんかノートがあるね。豆の状況があるし、そしておすすめレシピも入ってるけど、結構なんかこのレシピの低めが細引きね。そして割合がちょっと僕の好みより低いし。僕慣れてるのレシピで入れてみます。Yeah, I think Well, it would be cool to try the recipe later. I think I'm gonna go with my usual one, just so that I have a point of comparison also. Yeah, no, I don't know what that bird was. Sometimes there's like crows outside, but I don't know if that was a crow. 時々なんかカラスが来るけど、今回カラスだったかな？わかりへん。Okay. Just putting the beans away in their little fancy packaging. And let's start. Oh wait, we need to spray the beans. That first spray was not facing the beans. Okay, there you go. Yoisho. Sí, no las maracas. Sí, me da mucha curiosidad porque creo que los hispanos latinoamericanos estamos acostumbrados al sabor del tamarindo, pero al menos esta es la primera vez que yo veo un café con notas de tamarindo. Me da mucha curiosidad. Alright, let's grind the beans. 豆をひきましょうか。Also, one technique I use when grinding, I believe I've explained this before, but I can explain it again. I don't hold the grinder like vertically. I hold the grinder almost like completely horizontally. This is a technique called slow feeding. I believe sometimes you can go. I think it's based on the idea of like feeding the grinder one coffee one by one. That way the grinding can be a little bit more consistent. I think that's a little bit too exaggerated. That's too extreme. But if you hold the grinder horizontally instead of vertically, the beans will flow into the grinds, into the burrs a little bit more slowly compared to it being vertical. And depending on the quality of your grinder, that can make a big difference, especially if you're on a cheaper grinder, right? そうですね。今回はまあ普通に豆引くときになんか立て方で引いてないね。なんか逆に引いてたら、豆のペースが遅くなって、特になんか安いグラインダー、安いミルで、多分低めがもっと良くなりますね。There you go. We finished grinding. はい、引きました。Oh my... Okay, 1 second. I feel like my water spray does not like my room. It's always falling. It's always trying to escape. 多分なんか僕のスプレーが多分この部屋があんまり好きじゃないかも。ずっと落ちて多分ターソーしたいかも。ターソーして見てるかも。Okay, let me move the microphone a little bit. Yeah, maybe it's a good sign. Last time the coffee was delicious, so. It's true. Maybe it's part of the ritual. 確かにね、前回なんか同じようにスプレーが落ちてコーヒーが結構美味しかったから、今日も Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, now that it's grinded, the aroma is way stronger. I don't know. I don't know if it's me just like fooling myself, the bias, because it's what it's written, but I think I can sort of tell the tamarind a little bit more. 多分なんかもう引いた後で結構なんか香りが強くなったね。多分まあこれは多分僕の頭だけでも多分今もうタマリンドは少しだけわかると思う。どうだろう。I don't know. Maybe if tamarind wasn't written in there, I could also be like guessing a completely different thing. So who knows? What I don't smell yet is the mango. けどマンゴーは全然気づかないねまだ。Alright, so let's start with our brew. We're going to start with our first step, which is going to be a 45-gram bloom, around 1/3 of around 3 times the amount of weight in grinds. So, 始めましょうか. Okay. Make sure all of the grinds are soaked. It's always a little bit harder to do on my desk because I'm a little bit closer to the dripper, but we're good. We're gonna be waiting 30 seconds. Let all the CO2 escape from the grinds. Especially this, I believe this was roasted pretty recently. Yeah. I'm gonna do another pour until 90 grams, okay. Yeah, this was roasted around the 26th, so it's a pretty new roast. Hopefully, I think around a week or 2 later, it's gonna be even better. そうですね。今回は結構さっきに焙煎されたね。The last pour to 240 grams. よいしょ。That was a pretty fast drain. It's around 1 minute and 40 seconds. 結構早く流したね。1分40秒ぐらい。Well, that's the... You sure? And we're done. That was pretty fast. Compared to the Sei coffee that we tried last time was around 2 minutes with the same recipe, so that's interesting. 前回のSei coffeeと比べたら、あれは2分ぐらい経ったね。今回は結構早かった。まあけど流すの時間があまり関係ないね。美味しいなら美味しいよ。Of course, no need to worry too much about times. It's just like an estimate, but... Whoa! The smell is so strong. If it's good, it's good. Whoa, that's so... That is so aromatic. Like, I took the dripper out of the carafe and then it kind of like hit my face. そうで、なんかドリッパーなんかカラフェから抜けて、なんか香りが急になんか殴られた気がしたね。 Let's give it a try. Is there a word like itadakimasu in Mandarin Chinese, by the way? なんか中国語でいただきますみたいなセリフがあるの? Botón cuadre. Provecho, gracias, gracias. Gracias, gracias. Alright, I'm gonna give it a try. For those that are bad with drinking sounds, I'm gonna be slurping a little bit just to taste the coffee, but just giving you a warning. 飲むの音苦手人がいたら少しだけなんかうるさく味わうためにうるさくて飲むから注意しますね。I see, so there's really none for it. I got it. Understood. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Like Yahoo Cafe. Alright. Let's give it a try. They really weren't oh, sorry. Music. I'm gonna change my microphone. There you go, I'm back to normal. Yeah, no, they really they mentioned it would be kind of like a heavy and fruit forward cup, and I can see it. I can definitely taste that. I feel like it gives me, I don't know if I can tell the tamarind yet. It's kind of like the clarity is not that, it's not that high, at least with this brew, but it does feel super fruity. It feels fruity, but not in like, I don't know, it's supposed to be acidic, but I don't, what a mystery. This is, it seems heavy. It's very fruity. It's heavy, fruity. It's not that acidic. And it's not bitter. Yeah, blueberry. I don't know about mango, but blackberry is what I can taste the most. I don't think it's clear though. そうですね。結構なんかフルーティーだね。フルーティーだけど、なんか、ちょっとなんかこってりなフルーティー味わいあるね。It's very rich. And this is considering that I am doing a coarse grind with like a low extraction type of recipe. そしてなんか僕は普通になんか粗挽きで抽出低いレシピで入れてもまだこってりですね。There is some bitterness and acidity to it, but it's kind of like the bitterness hits you kinda at the beginning. There's like a slight bitterness at the beginning and then it just becomes full fruity. うん。濃厚ですね。Does the taste drastically change based on how you grind? Yes. Basically, how much coffee particles you extract into your water, your soluble, which is the water, will be affected by how much contact time and how fast the water will drain through the coffee grinds, right? If the grind is coarser, then the water is going to be flowing faster, so it's going to be less contact time. That means less extraction time. That can help reduce bitterness and a lot of like compounds that are not very pleasant. It's usually my preferred way of drinking black coffee because I prefer more of like a lighter tea-like cup compared to like a strong, rich, full-bodied one. Because it's way easier to get a bitter coffee, a bitter cup, otherwise. But yeah, no, with the recipe that they gave me, it was a way finer grind. It was like 400 microns. So that would be around like almost 18, 19 clicks on the Comandante. I usually grind at 900, 940-ish microns, so maybe the suggested recipe is more for like, it's meant to make these flavors even stronger. I don't know, I'm curious about it. 結構気になるね、なんか入ってたのレシピね。だって低めが結構違うし、多分あのレシピで入れたら香りがもっと強くなるかも。The lighter the roast means the less intense flavor? No, that's not the case. Intensity is really just... I think the type of the roast means what kind of like... how much of the nuances of the bean you're maintaining in the bean. And that will affect the perceived flavor of the bean as well. Usually lighter roasts lean more towards floral or fruity vibes or fruity taste because, I mean, coffee is originally a fruit, right? The less roasting you are staying closer to the original properties of the bean, however, or of the fruit. And the more you roast it, the more of those special qualities are removed. And sometimes that will include the type of notes that you get. There's a reason why a lot of coffee shops use dark roasts. That's because the more of those special qualities of beans that you remove, the more consistent your beans will be, even if you use cheap beans, even if you use a cheap blend. So sometimes it's more efficient, especially if you're doing like frappuccinos or stuff that completely gets rid of the coffee taste, to just use like a cheap dark roast. Mm, そうですね。なんか、コメント来たね。浅いりなら味はもっと弱くなると思ってたけど、そんなことないね。それは関係ない。なんか浅いりなら、もともとコーヒーは、まあやっぱり、果物だから、もっとなんか果物っぽくて、フローラルの味は残るけど、もっと焙煎したら、中入りとか深入りとか、あの豆のクオリティが得るね。だから普通になんか喫茶店が、まあ高校喫茶店じゃなくて、いっぱいなんかミルクドリンク入れる喫茶店が、中入り結構使ってますね。中入りじゃなくて深入りね。だってそうやってなんか豆が何種類使っても味は結構変わらないから安全に同じドリンクを作れる。でも蜜もいいけどね。種類によって。 That does not mean, of course, that darker roasts are inferior to light roasts. Medium roasts are just like misunderstood. They don't know what the role is. It's nothing like that, right? It's all depending on the variety and what people like. But yeah, no, usually the association is light roast, fruity, floral, sweet. Medium roast, sweet but more on the chocolatey side, creamy side, caramel. And then dark roast is more like strong chocolate, woody, ashy, bitter, strong. Those are usually like the associations, right? 次になんか浅入りなら結構期待する味わいたなんけどね、フルーティー、フローラル、酸味高くて。中入りならまだ甘いけど浅入りみたいに甘いけどなんかもっとなんかキャラメルとかチョコレートとかなんかクリーミーな期待できるね。そして中入りならちょっとなんか箸みたいな感じね。ちょっと苦くて強くてまだ甘さがあるけど甘めがあるけど結構なんか後味が強いイメージがあるね。But yeah, no, ever since I started buying light roast, I'm full team light roast. That's what I like most. I did buy a medium roast though, with along with this bean, and I think I might bring out the Hario switch for that. I'm gonna be brewing. I usually brew my coffees in like a very low extraction tea-like manner, but I know not everyone wants their coffee to be this clear or this light. So I'm gonna be doing a more full-bodied recipe in the future also.今日ね、僕は普通になんかちょっと透明感高くてお茶みたいなコーヒー好きだからそうやってよく入れてるけど、まあ多分もっと強いコーヒー好きな人がいて、また今度もっとこってりなレシピで入れてみようかな。だって中入りも買ったから。This is really interesting. Now that the coffee is cooling down, I can actually taste the tamarind. I can actually taste the tamarind now. But it reminds more like biting the tamarind fruit. It reminds me more of like the little bone, the little like hard bone kind of thing that tamarind has. No sé si ya que se está enfriando el café ya puedo probar un poco más el tamarindo y no sé si se les haga familiar, pero más que comer directo el tamarindo me recuerda un poco más cuando te queda el huesito o básicamente la parte dura que está dentro del tamarindo. Me recuerda un poco a eso. そうですね、もうコーヒー冷めても タマリンドを味わえると思うね。けどなんか果物を食べるよりなんか果物の味アートみたいな感じするね。What is Laoshu Zhai coffee? Laoshu Zhai is a small village in the Yunnan province in China, which seems to be producing coffees for various vendors, and this is the one that I brewed and drink today. That I'm drinking today. Pues el tamarindo, pues sí. Me gusta mucho el tamarindo. You know, I really like tamarind, personally. 冷めてきたら味変わったの？うん、コーヒーでそれは結構普通だ。冷めても味は少し変われるよ。Wait, why are you guys laughing at me? Did I say something weird in Chinese? 中国語でなんか変なこと言ったの？なんで笑ってるの？笑われてるの？En paletas me gustan mucho las que son como unos palitos, como unos popotes amarillos con el tamarindo. Wait, what's wrong? Did the stream die? Oh, okay. Sometimes I don't know what you mean with the emote, so I get scared, like, oh, did the stream die? あ、びっくりしたね。ただ文字だけ見てたから。あ、配信落ちたか。Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, Lao Shu is it's also mouse, right? Yeah, I remember. There used to be a YouTuber, may he rest in peace, that used to practice a lot of languages, and I think he used to use the name Lao Shu, which means mouse, right? 確かに覚えてますね。YouTube でいろんななんか結構いろんな言語話せる YouTuber がいたし、中国のネズミのニックネーム使ってたね、ラオシュ。I think 老師 can also mean like teacher, right? 老師も先生でしょ？ Yeah, 老師 is teacher and 老師 is mouse, right? Sorry, my pronunciation is just bad, so it kind of sounds similar. But yeah, 老師 and then 老師. Jigok 語難しいね。少しだけなんか発音変わったら意味が変わるよね。大変だよ。That's the thing with Mandarin Chinese, that if you mess up the pronunciation one thing, like the meaning completely changes, right? So hard, so hard. Yeah, there's a 老师 and 老师. Gengo 覚えるコツはありますか？なんか間違えて恥ずかしい瞬間があったらあれは全然忘れないでしょ。あの悔しさを忘れなくてそうやって覚えるでしょ。いや、マジで最悪だ。あれ忘れないよ。そうやって結構覚えることが多い。Yeah, these are the first coffee beans from China that I have. And I mean they're from China, but they're roasted. They're roasted somewhere else, right? I think in the United States. It would be kind of hard to get coffee roasted there without it going bad. I would have to go there. Spain 語の円とエニュみたいに似てるけど、まあエニュ見たらただ猫考えたらいいよ。There you go. There's the enya. The enya is solved now. こうやって忘れないよ。だって、enya はなんかにゃの発音があるから。The enya has like a にゃ kind of sound. So if you want to say like ribbon, you could say. You don't say mono. You say moño. Right? これはズボンね。ズボンかな？リボン。So mono would be moño would be yeah, like this, right? I mean, moño doesn't mean cat, but it's just the pronunciation, right? モニョの意味は猫じゃないけど。それはリボンだね。Mono is monkey, but it can also mean like it can also mean like like a character or a doll or something, but it's usually monkey, depending on the country. Can mean cute or pretty. Yeah, that's true. I think Spain uses that, right? They use muy mono. Te ves muy mona, güey. Perdón. Mi acento español es malísimo. Pero sí, depending on the depending on the country, sometimes mono or mona can be like a compliment, like cute. そうだね。恥ずかしいけど、僕のスペインのアクセントがマジで悪いから。すいませんね。すいません。けどそうです。モノとモナは、スペインなら、なんか可愛いの意味があるね。なんか形容詞だ。ラテンアメリカでそんな感じではないけど。Gatita, ¿alguna vez ha puesto un moño? A Gatita no le gusta que le pongan cosas. Con el collar a veces apenas podemos. Yeah, no. Gatita does not like accessories very much. With the collar, it takes a lot of effort for her to put her collar on. So. Today language. They just became like that because I mean, since this was Chinese beans, I kind of wanted to practice or at least bring up a little bit of the Mandarin Chinese I know. Hmm, また言語の話になってるけど、まあやっぱりなんか今回は初めて中国の豆を味わってたから、ちょっと覚える中国語を使いたかったね。I wanted to use a little bit of the Mandarin that I remember. ¿De qué país soy? Yo prefiero no mencionar de qué país soy por privacidad, pero soy de Latinoamérica. Ya, si la gente tiene una idea, pues ya, pero no voy a confirmar nada. No, I haven't taken like a formal Mandarin class in like, oh man. Eight years, maybe? I think it's been 8 years since like I actually had a proper class. そうですね、多分8年前から全然ちゃんと中国語を勉強してないね。It's really been a while, and I haven't had many opportunities to practice, and I didn't keep studying by myself, so I got stuck with like the basics. The very basics. 基本的のことを覚えてますね、それだけ。ちゃんと練習してなかったから。Dale. Is Mandarin part of your 2026 plan? I believe you can learn the language well. I don't know. I feel like I would love to learn Mandarin. I think it's a beautiful language. I think I mentioned I posted a thing on X, formerly Twitter, that I started the Lord of Mysteries, Donghua. Donghua means animation, animated series. That means that I'm not reading it. That means that I'm watching it. And as I watch it, I just feel like, oh man, Mandarin sounds so nice. But right now, there's so much that I feel like I still have to improve on when it comes to Japanese, which is like a language I'm a little bit more conversational with. So I think I want to focus on that as well as getting better at just speaking in general, like English, Spanish as well. But of course, I would love to learn Mandarin eventually. Si me hablan en mandarín puedo entender tal vez algunas palabras, pero no puedo mantener una conversación. Y tampoco puedo seguir todo. But yeah, no, I started Lord of Mysteries, and I don't know, when I made that pose, I kind of felt like I was getting adopted into like a society or something. So many people calling me a fool. And I'm like, did I do something wrong? Is it because I'm not reading the novel? Is that the case? But no, I think it's actually like an inside term of the of the show. I still have not gotten there yet, but I think it's a reference to the show. But yeah, I know usually the source material is going to be better, more detailed, but there's so many chapters. There's way too many chapters. There's too many words. I think like it's what, 1,435 chapters or something like that. I don't know if I have like the commitment right now to be able to read so much, but I started the donghua, and I'm only 2 episodes in, and it's been really interesting. I can tell that there was a lot of effort put into the world building, into making sure that all of these small intricate things of the world make sense and has a story to it. And I really like that when it comes to shows, when it comes to series, because I don't know if you guys ever do this. It's kind of annoying if you're watching with someone, but when I'm watching by myself, this is something that I like about Fate and Index a lot. Is that sometimes I can see a term when I'm watching an episode, and then I'll pause, and then I'll spend like, I'll lose hours of time just reading the wiki, because I am so like immersed into finding out, oh, and then what is this? What does this mean? And then I look at, oh, but what is this? What did this character? And then it's like, wow, it's so rich and so diverse as well. I really like that from a show, and I have a feeling that this is pretty much the same. So I'm really looking forward to it. I did brush up on like some general terms after episode 1 just to make sure that I was following correctly, but it really hasn't been as confusing as I thought it would be. It does load you a lot with information, but it really hasn't been anything hard to keep up with. At least so far. And I have to give my props to the studio also, because I believe the studio was they wanted to take their time and make it an even longer series, but the higher ups wanted them to get to like an exciting part of the series by episode 3. So they had to like really go through the intro chapters really fast. But I think they're doing it in a way that still is understandable, and I think from what I've read about the animated series, they actually fill in the gaps along the way. I think something that's important when like watching a series, reading a series, is that it's not important. It's okay not to know everything. Sometimes it can be frustrating when you're not confused about something, but sometimes it's kind of cool to learn along the way, especially if the characters themselves don't know everything, right? So learning along with them is kind of a cool experience also. It can be a little bit confusing at first, but I think it's rewarding. What's the donghua name again? It's called Lord of Mysteries. I think, oh man, I don't wanna mess up the pronunciation, so I'm sorry ahead of time, but I think it's like Guimi Jiju Xiao Chou Pian, something like that in Mandarin. そうですね、これはなんか中国のアニメーションのシリーズですね。なんかもともとノベルがあって結構人気だったけど、マジで長いから去年アニメーション出てちょっと気になったけど、やっと始まってきたね。結構面白いよ。なんかこのシリーズの雰囲気が結構広くて、なんか世界のディテールが素晴らしいと思う。けどアニメーションの日本語版がまだないね。それは残念だね。Unfortunately, I don't think the animation has a Japanese version yet. 字幕があるかもしれないけど。 Maybe there's like a subtitled version, but I don't think there's a dub. I think usually it takes a while because I think the link click also took a while to get the Japanese version. Not sure though. You watched Link Click? Season 1. I watched Season 1. The ending thing was really cool. I didn't continue though. There's a lot of times where like I'll watch a series and then I finish it, I caught up. I catch up, but then by the time the next season comes out, then I get busy and then I don't follow it.今こがあれば音で楽しめるのに。まあ、そうですね。そしてなんか、中国語の俳優の声優がうまいから。字幕版があればおすすめできるね。Yeah, I usually prefer anime in the original language also. Not just anime, like movies. Not manga, because manga I'll be really slow if I read in Japanese. But usually if it's like movies or games or series or anything, animation, I kind of want to watch them or experience them in the original language if subtitles are there. When I play, even though I like seiyus a lot, when I used to play like miHoYo games, or like Wuwa was not miHoYo, but when I used to play like Genshin or Wuwa, I would play it in Mandarin. だからね、原神とかメイチョとか出てた時に中国語でやってたね。I do have a soft spot though for Spanish dubs. Like the old ones though, the ones that I grew up with. Because they're really good and it's what I saw as a kid. けどまだ、まあ昔のスペイン語版のアニメーションが好きだよね。だって、なんか、ドラゴンボールとか、セインセイヤとか、ポケモンとか、子供の時その場見てたから、まあ懐かしいよね。そして、うまかったよ。結構うまかったわ。Yeah, Inuyasha was also really good because it was based on the Japanese version. No, Naruto I watched in Japanese. Naruto was not based on the Japanese version for the Spanish dub, unfortunately, so I wasn't that big of a fan. The thing is though, it's super cool. Or it's more than cool, it's interesting, right? Back then in Latin America, it was more expensive to import cartoons from the United States than to import anime from Japan to dub. So, in order to reduce costs, for a while, Latin America decided to import anime straight from Japan and dub it themselves. So, a lot of the old animes that we grew up with were like a one-to-one, or not one-to-one, but they're like completely translated from the Japanese version and not from any in-between English. Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon got Beyblade also. All those 3 series, for example, got translated from the English version. So any changes made to the English version were translated into the Spanish version. but not with the old anime. Inuyasha, Ranma, Dragon Ball, Saint Seiya, Sailor Moon. All of those series, they were just straight from the Japanese version, which was pretty cool. うん、これはもう話したことあったね。昔ラテンアメリカで、まあ、アメリカのアニメーションより日本のアニメーションが安かったから、結構、なんか日本から全然英語版なかったけど、スペイン語になんか通訳してたね。だから昔のアニメ、犬夜叉とかセインセイヤとかセイラームーンとかドラゴンボールとか、スペイン語版は日本語版を参考してたね。元にしてた。だからオープニングテーマ、なんかテーマソングとか同じ。ただスペイン語で聞いてた。As for the Ghibli movies, I watched I watched most of them in Japanese, to be honest. But I did watch the first Ghibli movie I watched was Spirited Away, or what was it? Chihiro to Sen no Kamikakushi? That one I watched in Spanish. That was good. The Ghibli films usually have a really good dub, both in English and Japanese. I mean, in Spanish. そうですね、ジブリの映画ね、まあ、普通に日本語で見るけど、僕の初めてのジブリ映画だ。千と千尋ね。千と千尋の神隠しだったから、あれはスペイン語で見たね。けどジブリなら、スペイン語も英語版も結構うまいよね。スペイン語版のバタフライ好き。ね。懐かしすぎるよ。曲もスペイン語になるの。そう。スペイン語になってた曲ね。セインセイヤとかのペガススファンタジーね。抱きしめた。スペイン語なら、siempre la verdad vencerá a todo el mal. Y si tú quieres ser un guerrero, vencerás. 懐かしい。That's so nostalgic. There's also like something I noticed. They would even like change the arrange to make it easier to sing because the Japanese version was a little bit too high for some singers. なんか少しだけちょっとなんかアレンジがあったね。だって日本語版が歌うの多分難しかったかな。ドラゴンボール GT のなんていうの。なんかだんだん心惹かれてく。あの曲がスペイン語版でなんかサビを低くて歌ってたね。Yeah, no, sometimes they would change it because it would be a little bit hard with the original Japanese version because like in Dragon Ball GT's だんだん心惹かれてく It's pretty high. The guy's like singing in a pretty high range, but then the Spanish version's a little bit lower. キー高いもんね。キーが同じだけど、なんかサビを少しだけなんか歌い方が変わったね。A メロと B メロは同じだけど。覚えたらどうかな。I don't wanna like butcher it if I don't remember it. So I think like in Spanish I think it goes like Mi corazón encantado. That's how the title goes. Yeah, yeah. 気にしないでね。Because in the Japanese version it goes like だんだんだん心惹かれてくその眩しい笑顔 Something like that, right? But in Spanish it would be like Tu sonrisa tan resplandeciente a mi corazón deja encantado. Like the key is there, but they change it. They change the way of doing it. I'm not portraying it really well because I'm not singing to an instrumental, but it's kind of like that, right? ほんまに懐かしい。I think that's the thing I like the most about Dragon Ball GT, the song. 多分ドラゴンボール GT ならあれが一番好きかも。あの曲。だんだん心惹かれてく。It happens, fall sinners. It is what it is. Oh, you know what song I really liked? In Spanish? Biggest Dreamer. From Digimon 3. I think Digimon Tamers. Digimon Tamers の Biggest Dreamer が結構好きだったね、スペイン語版。かっこよかったよ。I think a lot of us in Latin America would watch this as kids and then like would really resonate with that line that would go like Yo no hacia la tarea jamás pero eso se ha quedado muy atrás. Lamentablemente eso no se quedó atrás, aún hay tarea. Pero me acuerdo de que de niño me resonaba mucho eso. そうだね、なんか歌詞はちょっと変わってたね。なんか意味伝わるために。けどなんか祖国は気づいたんだずっと宿題忘れてたその歌詞がまだ残ってたねスペイン語版でも多分子供の時なんかこれを見てたの皆さんがあの気持ちわかるって思ってたねまあ僕はずっと宿題してたけどしたくなかったね I was always the one to do I always did my homework but I didn't want to do it, you know. Big and bigger because dreamer 夢見ることがすべて始まりそれが答えだろう And then Spanish would be like Sueña siempre, sueña intenta y así pronto triunfarás Hazlo todo con amor y pon mucha atención Ah, 懐かしい That's so nostalgic Yeah, no, adapting lyrics is a completely different skill compared to just translating. You just don't translate a song one-to-one and expect it to be good. You have to like take into account the way you express yourself in that language. The way it's normal to be poetic in that language. And keeping that in mind, changing things but still keeping the same meaning. It's super cool. My respect to all the people that adapt lyrics. Famous まで見てたな。僕ならセイバースまで見てたね。結構フロンティアも結構好きだった。フロンティアでただオープニングテーマソングとエンディングテーマソングはまだスペイン語版だったけど進化中でなんか進化の時まだ日本語だったからあの曲結構覚えてるね。 フロンティアだけじゃなくて多分、アドベンチャーからね。だから、子供の時、Brave Heart 聞くときに、ずっと日本語版だった。And for example, I think the opening and ending songs were translated and adapted into Spanish, but when the Digimon would evolve and Braveheart would show up, Braveheart was still in Japanese. It's really interesting how, like, as a kid, you really don't question things. You just think, oh, that's a cool song. I don't know what it's saying, but it's cool. Sí, ¿no? En el doblaje de Digimon, o sea, tenían los openings y los endings, los traducían, los adaptaban, pero las canciones dentro del anime las dejaban en japonés, ¿no? Así que sí nos tocó el Agumon, Digivolves, Greymon, and then Nigetari akirameru koto wa daremo. We would still hear that, right? そうですね。なんかアグモンがグレイモンに進化して急に日本語の曲出てたわ。ブレイブハートね。ゴマモンディジボルザカブテリモン。That is so nostalgic. I think I don't know why, but that's a Digimon that really stuck onto me. Kabuterimon. It's just such a satisfying Digimon to pronounce. Keko nankaカブテリモンは頭に残ったね。ずっと。なんか、いいの気持ちいい感じがある。カブテリモン。なんだろう。I don't know why. It just feels so nice to say カブテリモン。It wasn't even like my favorite Digimon or anything. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. 谢谢你。デジモンはポケモンとか違って日本語は同じ名前なんだ。うん、だってデジモンのスペイン語版は英語版に元にしてたね。だからね、デジモンなら日本語版に元してた。And the difference between like Digimon and Pokemon in Spanish was the Spanish Pokemon dub was based on the English dub. So any changes that were done to the English names of Pokemon or the songs or anything, they would be adapted to Spanish. So we didn't get the original Pokemon song. だからなんていうの？ポケモンの元々のテーマソングスペイン語はなかったね。We didn't get that song. 全然来なかった。英語版もらったね。ポケモン tienes que atrapas tú y yo. Nuestro destino así es. That's what we got. Cardcaptor Sakura was also based on the Japanese version. We also got the Japanese songs adapted to Spanish. カードカプターさくらも同じだったね。日本語版に元してた。だから日本語の曲のもうスペイン語版になってた。This ended up just becoming another anime. Anime Satsu, but this is more like an anime adaptation, anime music Satsu ね。なんか前回みたいにちょっとアニメ殺談になったね。What's another anime? Oh, Shaman King. Shaman King also got the Japanese versions adapted. Shaman King も同じだったね。Shaman King の曲。蘇れ La Resurrección. That was a Oversoul, right? I really like the Northern Lights. Northern Lights was really cool. Omokage. Omokage, that's the second ending. Super good, super good. Both in English and Japanese and Spanish. Omokage も最高だったね。スペイン語版も日本語版も。Mi dolor superaré, la vida seguirá, atrás no volveré, comenzaré de nuevo a vivir. I think that's when I really started liking Hayashibara Megumi. Like both her singing and her voice acting, because she does Anna in the show. 懐かしいよね。多分、シャマンキングのおかげで、林原めぐみ様を好きになったね。音楽も、なんか歌手としてと声優としてね。Sailor Moon I didn't grow up with a lot, but it was also adapted. Tokyo Mew Mew, I think, was based on the English version, though. For the Spanish one, that was a little bit later. So that was when it started getting cheaper to just adapt based on the English version. So I think after a while, some series just stopped being based on the Japanese. So I didn't get Ichigo, I got Zoe. Unfortunately. そうですね、多分、東京ミュウミュウなら、英語版にもっとしてたね、スペイン語版。なんか、時間経って、そろそろ、なんかアメリカ版に参考するのをもっと安かったから、アニメはそんな感じになったね。だから、東京ミュウミュウ見てた時になんか、イチゴちゃんじゃなかったね。ゾイちゃんだったよ。可愛かったね、イチゴちゃん。I think like the biggest influence in me liking Off Shoulders so much is probably Dark Magician Girl and Ichigo from Tokyo Mew Mew. I really thought they both looked really cute with it. And ever since I've liked that on girls. だからオフショルダー好きかな。子供の時なんかブラックマジシャンギャルと東京ミミのイチゴちゃん結構可愛いと思ってたから女の子にオフショルダーが好きになっちゃったかも。Speaking of name changes though, for Yu-Gi-Oh was based, since I mentioned the Dark Magician Girl, since Yu-Gi-Oh was based on the English version, we got the English names as well. So I didn't get what's his name? I didn't get Jonoichi. I didn't get Katsuya Jonoichi. I got Joey Wheeler. I got Joey Wheeler. He didn't have the accent that he has in the English version, but we got the name. うん、そうだね。遊戯王ならね、英語版に元にしてたから、もともと日本語の名前をなかったね。ジョノイチじゃなかったよ。ジョイだったよ。ジョイ・ウィーラー。They really liked changing characters into like E's, huh? Ichigo becomes Zoe. Jonoichi becomes Joey. I think maybe if Digimon. The thing is though, now that I think about it, even though Digimon was based on the Japanese version, the names did change. The names did change. Cause Takato became, no, not Takato, TK. TK's name is Takeru. Takeru Takaishi, right? In Japanese. But in English, he just becomes TK. Yeah, I got easy also. 確かにね。まあ、ディジモンのスペイン語版は日本語版に元にしてたけど、名前は変わったね。英語版みたいに。タケルが TK になったけど、そしてヤマトくんが Matt になったね。タイはまだタイだったけど、泉が Easy になった。Yeah, because Izzy's name is Izumi. Yeah, Hikari is just Kari. I think. 光がカリになったね。なんかちょっとニックネームっぽかったね。It's more than like completely changing the name. It's like, it's not like I think only Yamato got turned into Matt. But the thing is like, they were all like nicknames. They were not like changing. They were not changing Jonoichi to Joey. It was like, oh, because Yamato could be changing to Matt as a nickname, right? TK could just be like a nickname. Kari could be a Hikari. But then I think after season 2, they stopped changing the names. Because I remember in Frontiers we got Koichi and Koji normally. We got Takuya. Yeah, we did get Davis in Zero 2, that's right. It's not Daisuke, it's Davis. And but we still kept Ken. Ken is still Ken. 多分ティムスまでアドベンチャー2まで変わってたけど、ティムスから全然変わらなかったね。だってリカちゃんがまだリカだった。Because I think from Tamers, like Rika was still Rika, Takato was still Takato. Because I remember like sometimes playing the games, and the games were in English, and I could still remember like Gilmon going Takato in like the very English heavy pronunciation, Takato. Gojo would be George? Oh no, the strongest. George Satoru. No. I'm glad they don't do that anymore. やっぱり今もう全然変わってないのは良かったね。ゴージョはジョージになったら大変だよ。George. Yeah, his name is Satoru. His name's not even Gojo. いや、ゴジョは、名字だけどね。名前じゃないよ。So it would be maybe, I don't know, Zachary Gojo? Zachary? I mean, Zachary's with a Z, but... I don't know. Trying to think of like a name, English name that starts with Sa, but I cannot. I cannot remember. Samuel George? Steven Gojo? Steven. And you know, like if it followed the rules of of dubs back in the day, names like Sukuna wouldn't have changed at all. So it would be Steven George versus Sukuna. That would be even funnier. そうね、なんか昔の英語版と似てたら多分スークラの名前は全然変わらないかも。ただ主人公の名前変わるから今回は楽しみにしてるね。スティーブン・ジョージとスークラの戦い。なんだろう。It really, oh, so much anger. Okay. No angry. But yeah, no, in the end, I feel like, it's really interesting how all of this shapes how we experience all these shows, all these series, but regardless, like, we can all come together to like talk about what we liked and what we remember it. Some people really are fond of like the English Digimon song that I cannot stand. It just was so repetitive. But some people grew up with it, so it means a lot to them. けど面白いですね。だっていろんな人が自分の国の版に育てたから、よく、懐かしくて、なんかいい記憶で覚えてますね。だって、英語版のディジモンのテーマソングのオープニングテーマソングただなんか Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimons are the champion. Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimon are the champions. それだけだった。It was just that. That was the English opening song. No deep song about love and overcoming obstacles if you believe in yourself and the power of friendship and love and stuff. Nothing like that, no. American kids, English-speaking kids do not need love. They need Digimon, which they need to know that Digimons are the champions. Yeah, no, for Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't remember what the original lyrics for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Songs talk about. It's usually way deeper, but then Yu-Gi-Oh! It's more about... I guess it was just like about realizing that Yugi is this really cool figure that when it's time to duel, it's time to duel. I think it's more like more than like conveying something. The objective back then was to like sell the show to kids, like attract the kid. Look at how cool these characters are. Look at how cool these Digimon are. Maybe that's how they wanted to bring in kids to want to watch it. 多分作戦が違かったね。で、海外の子供になんかこれは日本のアニメーションだったから、見て、このキャラクターがかっこいい。このディジモンがかっこいい。すごいよ。って、なんか伝えたかったから、そうやって変わったね。シャーマンキングも結構変わった。Meanwhile, Dragon Ball GT in Spanish gets a song that's completely unrelated. in Spanish and Japanese to the show. There was like, I feel like there was no relation to it. It's just like a love song about how much they like the other person's smile or something. And then you just see like Goku having adventures with his granddaughter.全然逆だったね。なんかドラゴンボール GT だったね。だんだん心が惹かれてく。なんか番組とあまり関係なかったね。ただ普通のラブソングだったけど、子供の時全然それを考えてなかったね。いい曲だねって考えちゃう。デジモンと同じだ。いい曲だね。But I like that. I like that openness that sometimes opening and ending songs had compared to the anime. けどそれは好きだね。なんかもっとオープンな意味な曲があってアニメで。Of course, it was not always like that, though. Because Saint Seiya was pretty straightforward, right? Both in Japanese, English, and Spanish. It was just straight up about the Pegasus. The Pegasus fantasy. ¿Acaso que hay alguien que prefiere la otra canción de los Caballeros del Zodiaco? Saint Seiya ならなんかスペインなんかラテンアメリカじゃなくてスペイン語版が他のなんか別の曲があったね。全然違かったよ。Caballeros del Zodiaco. Something like that, right? No me gusta decir como guácala o algo porque pues hay gente que creció con esa versión y les gusta, ¿no? Pero sí se me hace curioso cómo cambia. You know, the Spanish version of Saint Seiya and the Latin American version has they both have completely different songs though. I think the Spain version got a completely original song. And I think there's people that still fight online over which song is better. But it's really just the one they grew up with. Está curiosito. Eso es lo que la gente le dice a los bebés cuando no les pueden decir bonitos. Ay, qué curiosito. It's like, no, gracias. Qué gacho, la verdad. Superchat arigatou gozaimasu. Super chat arigatou gozaimasu. Sí, también cuando hacías un dibujo y te decían, ay, mira qué curioso. Ok, mi dibujo está feo, ya entendí. Los niños tampoco son... Los niños son inteligentes, los niños cachan más de lo que piensan, así que todo eso se queda en la memoria. There's this thing among Spanish speakers where like, I guess there's like a level of honesty to say if something's not cute, if something's not pretty, they won't fakely say that it's cute or pretty. But let's say like someone introduces you to their baby and you don't think the baby is cute at all. Latin Americans will say, they look so like, I guess like it's the word curious but used in an adjective. It makes sense in Spanish. I don't think in English it makes so much sense. It's like, oh, how interesting he looks. But it's kind of like, okay, yeah, you don't think it's cute, basically. It's like a very soft way of saying you don't think they're cute. But it's like you're trying to say a compliment, but it's the only thing you can say. And then, I mean, let's say you do, like a little kid does a drawing and it's like, oh, how interesting. And it's like, okay, it was ugly. I see how it is. Like, 面白い kinda. そうですね、なんか、ラテンアメリカの文化だけど、なんか、例えば、この状況があるね。知り合いが自分の子供たちを紹介して、でも何かを褒めたいけど、まあ、可愛いって嘘をつきたくないから、じゃあ、結構面白い子供ですね。って言うけど、まあみんなも分かってるね。あの意味は、可愛くないと思うね。子供の時な何か絵描いたら、面白いですね。面白いの。落書きですね。子供たちがバカじゃないよ。子供も分かってるよ。なるほどね。自分の絵がうまくなかったか。Thank you for super chat ありがとうございます。いってらっしゃい。Thank you so much for the super chat ですよね。That's I don't know if it comes off as backhanded, but I think, like, I genuinely think a lot of times the intention is just to try and say something nice, but you really cannot find anything. Or like they really can't find anything, so they just say whatever, but sometimes maybe not saying anything is better. Sí, no, a veces no siento que la intención es ser pasivo-agresivo, pero como que en serio quieren decir algo para que no se sienta mal y terminan diciendo algo que mejor hubiera sido no decir nada, ¿no? I don't know, humanity, well, just going broad, but sometimes when people show people things, you are already expecting like a compliment or something, and I think we understand that, so we feel the need to say something also. But then there's like the other kind of people that are actually honest, and they'll be like, for example, how do I look with these clothes? And they'll be like, oh yeah, they don't suit you as much. But you're kind of like, you don't really want to hear that. People actually just want to hear a compliment or reassurance, but they're not interested in hearing the other way around. So those situations often happen depending on the wavelength of each person. つぶちゃんありがとうございます。Ideally, if you ask like, how do I look with this, right? You should be prepared for the possibility of the person's opinion not matching that, right? Otherwise, it's better not to ask. And then there's also the people that don't wait until they're asked. They just say things and it's like, yeah, I didn't like that. That doesn't suit you. And it's like, but I didn't ask. So I don't know. There's kind of like two sides to it, right? It's interesting. It's interesting how we have to like adapt to people, and that's why sometimes like one dynamic works with someone and then it doesn't work with the other, and you have to like test it out and until you see what's okay, what's not. What do they actually want? Normalmente mamás. Bueno, ya. Uno toca entenderlas, ¿no? Very interesting, very interesting. So I think I've gotten into situations before where it's like, oh, it's like, it felt like you were trying to say this. And they're like, no, I did not say that. I said this other thing. But this is just how I am. I am a kind of person that like, if I say something, I mean pretty much what I said, instead of like trying to like go deeper or further than that. But sometimes I guess because of how we're used to depending on other people, it can be perceived as other things. So it's really interesting how you have to like also think about how things can be perceived and not just the meaning of the words themselves, right? I don't think I see myself as a blunt person. I think I can be I think straightforward more than blunt. Because I feel like even when I say things, I still try to consider the delivery of the words, the delivery of the sentences, in order to make sure that they cannot be perceived or as harmful or hurtful. Of course, it's not my responsibility, but it's just part of being considerate, you know? And I don't like the idea of using that as an excuse. Oh, sorry, I'm just honest. I'm just blunt. But usually when I say something, I mean pretty much straightforwardly what I'm trying to say. これはなんか面白いな状況ですね。時々ねえ、なんかこの服装どう思うって聞かれるときに、似合ってないと思うって答えたら怒られるね。でもじゃあほんまの意見聞いてなかった。ただ褒めること欲しかったか。もちろんまあ人によるけどね。でも時々なんか普通になんかストレートで似合わないと思うって言う人がいるし、なんか怒られる状況があるね。僕はそんな人はないけど、 ちょっとなんか空気を読まないといけない。面白いですね。だって意見を聞いてたら多分欲しくないことはもう準備できたらいいと思うね。スパチャットありがとうございます。I am guilty of this though. I'm also guilty because if I don't think I'll ever I don't think I'll ever be like, for example, going to a friend or an acquaintance's house and their parents serve me dinner or they serve me dinner as a guest. They're being very hospitable and nice to me and I don't like it. It's a food I don't like. Or I won't ever say, oh, that's bad. I won't ever say I don't like it, I hate it. I'll just say, oh, I'm just it's like, oh, either it's good or it's just, oh, sorry, I'm just bad with this food, but you cooked it really well. Because it's rude. I don't know. I really appreciate like the gesture, right? So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to like be completely honest if they ask you, how is it? Boku mo tokidoki nanka so ne, ほんまの意見言わないと状況があるね。時々なんか、知り合いと友達の家にやったら、なんか、ご飯食べたら、あの人は優しくて、ご飯を僕のために料理してたから、好きじゃないっていうのは、無理だね。やっぱり無理だ。マジで。僕のために料理してくれるの感謝だから。ただ、結構うまいだけど、そんなにお腹少なかったね。そんな感じで。うん。I don't like this ingredient much, but I appreciate you cooking for me. I think like maybe one strategy. Let's discuss strategies for expressing this. But I think maybe something I would do is like, oh, I'm not used to this food yet, or I'm usually not good with this food yet, but this is pretty good, so I just have to get used to it. Something like that. Or you can say maybe like, or maybe it feels more honest if you say, I like this thing, but this thing I'm still not that great with. So it does not come off as, oh, I completely hate it, but it's more like, oh, there's this that I like. And then you balance it out with something that you're still weak with. And that comes out as more like, as more honest without being rude, I think. And it's always like more about making it about yourself. Don't make it about, oh, you could improve in cooking this. It's more like, oh, I just need to get used to this. Well, this is my first time, so it's something new to me. スパチャットありがとうございます。People can be so judgmental of picky eaters. As a picky eater myself, yeah, I feel that. I don't like people assuming that I only want to eat like nuggets, French fries. but usually I don't have the problem anymore where I worry that if I go to a restaurant I won't have anything to eat. I've definitely gotten better with age. That being said, I think more than like people that are bad with foods, I think people that just refuse to eat anything. Not even like knowing that they don't like, but more like the lack of interest of trying anything can be a little bit frustrating for other people also. And I think it's also about the attitude you go about it. do you go about it as like, oh, sorry, I'm not good with this food, but can we try something else, or maybe I can order from here? Or are you gonna act like more like, no, I don't wanna, I hate that. No, let's go eat something else. Nah. I think it's really more about how you come across it and how you deliver that. Because if you come across as like you're completely not taking the other person into consideration, then it kind of shuts it comes across as only self-interested, you know. Even if you do want to eat like chicken nuggets and fries. I like chicken nuggets and fries. I think a lot of people like chicken nuggets and fries. But I think if you convey that, it's like, hey, sorry, I'm craving this, but maybe we could go to this place that has it, or is there something else you're feeling? Or maybe we could go to like a food court and I ordered this and then you order that and we eat together. Or like a buffet. I think it's all about trying to find a middle point, because it's a give and take. What's up with this coffee? This coffee is so good. It's got me talking about so many things. I feel like sometimes I drink coffee on stream and I'm like, yeah. Anyways. But now I feel like there's someone to talk about. 結構面白いなコフィーだったね。いろんな話題聞いた。ありがとう。ありがとう中国。Thank you China。美味しかったわ。But you know, now that I had it when it's cold, it's pretty good. Like, I really like how recently most of the specialty coffee that I have is pretty good even when it gets cold. なんか最近な高級飲んでる高級コーヒーが冷めても美味しいから結構いいよね。Debe ser el tamarindo. El tamarindo me pone locochón, ¿o qué? Is it better hot or cold? I think it's not something you separate. It's an experience. But I think this is more like a coffee you want to, instead of like finish it while it's hot, you want to be slowly sipping it. So you can experience it. 多分なんかこのコーヒーね冷めてもゆっくり飲んだらいい経験になると思うね。Yeah, no, I understand the thing about the gag reflex. My gag reflex is also not that great. And I think I don't know, it depends on the person. It's not a pleasant experience at all. But there's many times where I think, oh yeah, this is gonna be bad, but I'm gonna try it at least once, and then I'm like, oh wait, it's not that bad. But it's definitely perhaps a good idea to try these new foods with people that you're comfortable with and kind of know and are understanding. A safe space, you know? That way you don't feel judged. Thank you for a super chat. Super chat ありがとうございます. Thank you very much. Do I like spicy or sweet tamarind? I like both. I like tamarind. I like tamarind. There's a lot of snacks and candy that use both sweet and spicy tamarinds. Yeah, more often than not, like, it's really about how you convey and communicate certain things more than the things themselves, you know? We can communicate. We can find a solution. It's all about being considerate, caring, and not too selfish, you know? Is the coffee richness still the same? I think it feels lighter when it's colder. Nah, the richness is still the same. Never mind, I just tried a bit. I think it's still the same, but when it's warm, it's perceived a little bit heavier. La agua fresca tamarindo. Sí, es buena. Usualmente no es mi preferida. Yo usualmente me voy por la de Jamaica, limón con chía o horchata si quiero algo dulce. U horchata, pero también es buena. Out of curiosity, since you've been doing so many coffee satsus, you finish the beans as much as possible before getting new ones? I'm just thinking about storage space for beans. Usually, unless I am really resting my voice, I drink 1 dose a day, which usually that is enough for me to slowly finish my beans, but I don't think I'll be buying beans anytime soon, because right now I have like 3 bags? 3 bags and 1 really small one for the medium roast. So I usually try to not stack up on a lot of coffee while I am finishing these ones too, not because I don't like wasting food. So I focus on these. It's just and then maybe for the coffee sets, I think, how can I make it a little bit different? Either maybe I introduce a coffee that I introduce in a different language satsu, in the Japanese or Spanish satsu, or maybe I try a different recipe or something. But yeah, no, I usually try to keep it to a certain amount of beans that I have at a time. And when I store it, I usually store it in the bag that it comes with. I just make sure that when I close the bag, that there's no leftover air in it. There are times where I do get some old beans that still stay there, but sometimes I give them away before they get too old, or if I know I'm not going to drink them, I give them away to someone else that's going to use them. I definitely did not finish the bag of Amazon beans that I received earlier in my streaming career. Is mixing bags of coffees at a similar roasting date into the same cup recommended? Feel free to experiment. I mean, I wouldn't mix the bags themselves, but maybe for a dose. There are times where I only have, let's say, I only have 10 grams of this bag left, and I only have 5 grams of this other bag left. So in order for me to finish both, I will just combine them into a 15-gram dose. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not that great, but that way I finish both. そうですね、時々まあ普通にコーヒー豆をいっぱい保つの好きじゃないから。限定があるね。限界がある。今もう多分すぐにまた買わないかもね。もう豆種類を5つ持ってるし、そしてまあ毎日多分一杯だけ入れるし、コーヒーを悪く ならないように持ってる豆を入れた方がいいよね。だからコーヒーサツは5つね。確かに。だからとりあえず同じ豆を入れるかもね。まあ紹介しないとの2つがまだあるけど。I still have two new bean varieties that I have to introduce to you guys. Well, camera glitched. So, at least for the time being, we still have some new beans to show you guys. I have one that I bought that is in collaboration with an association to help with AIDS. So I think that's from was it from Kenya? I don't remember, but I'll introduce those properly as well. But it was for for fundraising. Also from Onyx Coffee. The notes seem pretty interesting also, and the box was like a special edition, so I'll introduce them later. Probably not next coffee Zatsu though. I really like Onyx after trying it. Yeah, Onyx is pretty good. It's pretty accessible and there's a lot of variety, so I can recommend it. Thank you for a super chat. The reason I went back to Onyx despite me saying that I wanted to introduce new beans is one, because I saw these from China. And I'm like, wow, I don't really have the opportunity to try them as often. And also, because I had a coupon code. And I'm like, I need to use this. This is important. I need to use the coupon code. Specialty coffee can get a little bit expensive though. おはようございます。おはようございます。おはようございます。そうですね、もう新しいお店を紹介したいってよく言ってるけど、今回はクーポンがあったからじゃあ使わないといけないと思ったね。そしてこの中国の豆を新しかったから、じゃあ買ってみようかなと思ってたね。中国の豆を全然飲んだことなかったから。クーポン大事。クーポン最高。We love coupons. Coupons are great. Coupon 太好了。我喜欢 coupon. Something like that. Gotta like manifest positive energy. I don't believe in these things, but manifest positive energy so that many more coupons. How do you pronounce it? Coupons manifest themselves in our lives. It's coupons? Okay, it's not coupons. Coupons. In Spanish, that's gonna be today's word of the day. Right. 今日のスペイン語講座になりますかな? It's an important word after all. It depends on the region. It's like herbs and herbs. I see. I see. Do I use a singular one or do I use... Yeah, I guess. Cupones. Coupons. In Spanish, it's cupones. Pretty easy, right? 結構簡単ですね。同じだ。Cupones. If it's just one coupon, 一つなら、クーポン。It's not coupon. クーポンじゃないけど、クーポン。ね。If it's just one. 一つならクーポン。クーポンじゃなくて、クーポン。Important word, very important word. クポネス大好き。nice japoñol. Useful word, yes, yes, yes. But okay, I think it's about time that I start wrapping it up here. Gonna read the super chat soon, but once again, thank you very much for joining me today. It was a fun Zatsu, and it was very nice coffee. So thank you very much. そろそろ終わりましょうかね。配信見てくださってありがとうございます。会話もコーヒーは結構良かったね。As for next week, it's probably going to be a busy one for me, so I probably won't have a stream until Wednesday, but I'll see if I can do a schedule soon, maybe by tomorrow. Thank you for the gifted, thank you very much. 来週ね、今週、日本の時間で、結構忙しい瞬間になるから、多分、木曜日まで配信がないかもね。後で予定表が投稿しますけど。I'm thinking of replaying White Knuckle again. I kind of want to give it another try. But I'm either in between trying White Knuckle or trying another horror game, the golf horror game that I had in mind as well. But we'll see depending on what I'm feeling. I've been really wanting to try White Knuckle again, so it's very possible that I'll just go back to give the rest of the Freos a chance. 前からホワイトナックルをやりたくて、多分今週もやるかな。There's also Neo 2 is gonna come out. Neo 2 is gonna come out on the 5th of February. But I think I probably won't be playing Neo 3. I mean Neo 3, not Neo 2. Neo 3 until after my birthday because I know that's a game I'm gonna be playing for long hours. That's gonna be a game that I'm gonna be playing for long, and I'm gonna be playing a lot. So it's probably better for me to play it once I'm less busy, because there's a lot of stuff that I have to, like other than birthday stuff, I need to do some other stuff though. そうですね、そろそろ Neo 3が出るけど、多分誕生日の後でやるかな。多分 Neo なら長くまで配信するから。遅くまでね。だから、そんなに忙しくない時にやる。Cumpleaños pronto. Sí. Birthday, yes. Birthday. Alright. No, I think it's gonna be fine. I really don't have like anything super special planned either, so I just have some leftover stuff to do, but that's it. ただまだなんかやらないといけないことがあるけど、そんなになんかなんていうの、みっともないことが企画してないし、チルいな 誕生日を過ごすつもりですから、楽しみましょうね。Let's have a looking forward to celebrating with everyone for the first time. Thank you. ありがとうね。Anyways, I'm gonna start reading the super chat, so once again, thank you very much. じゃあ、スプチャットを読ませていただきますね。First birthday, first baby. First birthday, not first baby. First birthday. First birthday. 初めての誕生日ですね。楽しみ。I'm definitely not the first baby. I think there's been plenty of babies before I was born. 初めてのベイビーではないね。結構僕の前にいろんなベイビーがいたから。今もベイビーではないで。だけどね。I'm not a baby anymore, is that right? I'm an adult. レモンクリームさん、スパチャットありがとうございます。ありがとうございますね。日本でもタマリンド味わいコーヒーがあるかな。ココン寿司 thanks so much for the super chat. 謝謝ね。Thank you for the red envelope. Thank you very much. 謝謝。Oli thanks so much for the super chat. 謝謝ね。Coffee feels like can make you slow down and enjoy the moment. That's something I like about coffee. You know, it's my time where I can just like focus on brewing and just focus on just that single cup that you brewed. After that, like all the stuff you have to do, all your worries, all those things that stress you out, that can come in later. But for now, just focus on the coffee. Just brew the coffee, focus on the coffee, listen to your favorite music maybe. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of this K-pop group called the One Pact when I'm brewing coffee, and it's been nice. Especially Lucky. It's a self-produced group. そうですね。コーヒー、だからコーヒーが好きですね。入れるときになんか自分の心配事とかストレスがあることを忘れて、ただなんか入れるプロセスと一杯を集中できたらいいと思うね。後でなんか要点とかが戻るね。好きな音楽も聴くたびにコーヒー入れるのが楽しいよ。最近僕がK-POP グループの One Pact を最近来てるね。コーヒーを入れるときに。銀さん、つぶちゃとありがとうございます。そうですね。時々なんかピンギンの発音や意味をちょっと分かるのは難しくなるけど、ただなんかハンズ読んだら日本語と似てるし、多分意味をなんとか、多分発音できないけど、多分意味はなんとか分かるかも。 確かに確かに。ありがとうございます。ペピさん、スパチャットありがとうございます。そっちでも中国の豆を見つけたらいいね。ありがとうございます。ゆうかちゃん、スパチャットありがとうございます。敵もいってらっしゃいね。いってらっしゃい。Suzu, thanks so much for the super chat, 謝謝ね。Yeah, no, the new beans were really nice. I'm really looking forward to trying this with First, I want to try maybe an even smaller ratio, like 230 grams, and see how that changes. Or I also want to try doing my usual two-bloom. I mean, not two-bloom, but two-step recipe, and see if maybe that balances out the richness a little bit more and makes it a little bit clearer. But we'll see. Thank you very much. Fuku-san, スパチャットありがとうございます。Thank you for stream. Thank you for coming. 小鳥さん、スパチャットありがとうございます。頑張りましょうね、今週。ハムボンボンさん、スパチャットありがとうございます。カラオケね。そうですね。まあ、著作権が大丈夫なら、いつかスペイン語のアニソン、歌枠やったらいいと思うけど、まあ、約束できないね。Yeah, no, I think since the beginning of my streaming activities, people have been interested in like a Spanish karaoke, and I think it would be cool to do like a Spanish anison karaoke, but I'm not sure how it would work with the rights, so I would have to like research and look into that, especially because I don't like the idea of doing unarchived karaokes. I don't really want my stuff to be re-uploaded, so だってアーカイブなしの歌枠をやりたくないね、今。I don't know if in the future, but for now, I kind of want to avoid it. I already don't do karaokes often, so I think it would be cool if I could also, if I did one, it would be one that people can really re-listen to. Especially since it's so rare, right? Shiho-san, スプチャットありがとうございます。Thank you very much. Like a meet and greet. Oh, also, I believe there was the lottery for the audiovisual room in NIJIFest, right? I am. First of all, well, congratulations to everyone that was able to get it, and to those who don't, I can only speak for myself, but as long as there's an audiovisual room, I plan on participating. So, if there wasn't an opportunity this year, may the future hold an opportunity for us, okay? そうですね、視聴確実のくじがあったね。当たった人におめでとうございます。会うのを楽しみにしてます。そして会ってなかった人に視聴確実があれば絶対に参加するから、また今度機会がありますようにね。ありがとうございます。Mint Rain, thanks so much for the super chat. Is my Chinese and pronunciations improving? Is it really? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. まさはねさん、スーパーチャットありがとうございます。ありがとうね。 頑張って今週。Kaivara, thanks so much for the super chat. Thank you very much. Yeah. I'll be trying 2 new beans from Onyx after this Zatsu, so please look forward to that as well. Lexus Matcha, thanks so much for the super chat. This says, Sue Mao something cafe. Is it He? Is that He? Sue Mao He Cafe. Did I got it right? I don't know. I cannot. I don't remember the middle character, but I tried. Ribuchi Ribuchi. Thank you very much. Oh, it was He? It was drink? Ah, yatta! Yatta, yatta! I did it! I got it. Nice, 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 nice. Whew, okay, I was a little bit nervous there. ちょっと不安になってた. I got it. Cool. Thank you. I can only remember because you guys taught me so. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dempsey, thanks so much for the super chat. 谢谢你. Tayo on your Jongwen this year. I'll do my best. 谢谢. Lobster Roll, thanks so much for the super chat. スプチャットありがとうございます。よかったね、癒さになりました。ドレニャン, thanks so much for the super chat. Yeah, let's manifest all the coupones. Thank you very much. Yeah, I have a feeling that I'm really gonna like Lord of Mysteries, so it's very likely that I'll start yapping about it in the future. Mega Shikune, muchas gracias por el super chat. Gracias. Duchess Marlicia, thanks so much for the super chat. Cafe. This is like shin or ura in Japanese. And then this is K or kanari. Kakari in Japanese. How? Nah, this is too hard for me. But thank you. Thank you very much. 難しいよ。読むの。漢字。Oh, it's Cantonese. Ah, I see. I don't know much about Cantonese, unfortunately. It's like 广东话不好，对不起。When Pudding, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, no, this was one of the most conversational Zatsus of all time, I think. Oh, really? Most coffees from Yunnan are Katimor? Oh, so maybe that variety grows really easily over there. That's interesting. I would like to try more so that I can have more of a point of comparison, because I think these might be the first specialty Katimors that I brew myself. Thank you very much. Jamie, thanks so much for the super chat. Salamat po. Otsu in January. Thank you very much. Foyo, thanks so much for a super chat. Do you enjoy cold brew? I do like cold brew. I personally prefer ice drip, like a flash chill pour over coffee when it's cold. But every now and then I do enjoy cold brew. I like to make it when it's summer, when it's really hot and I don't really feel like brewing something myself and I just want to grab something that I can pour. Usually with my older beans, I will make a cold brew batch to keep in case. But right now, since it's still relatively cold, not today, I've been drinking mostly hot coffee. Maru-san, スーパースティッカーありがとうございます。ありがとう、ありがとう。Okay. Sorry, I was stretching. I think I was able to read all the super chats, so I'm gonna be calling it a night today. A day. We're still daytime here. We're gonna be calling it a day today, okay? Thank you so much for stopping by. I'll see you guys next stream. Most likely on Wednesday. And yeah, take care. Let's have a nice week, okay? じゃあ、すべて全部読めたので、ここで終了させていただきます。みんな、素敵な瞬間を過ごせますように。多分、木曜日まで、木曜日に配信が続きますから、その時もよろしくお願いしますね。バイバイ、see you guys! Que tengan muchos cupones. Manifesting a lot of coupons. Coupons. We're gonna be redirecting to Elira Senpai, who's playing Final Fantasy XIV. Spoiler warning though. 今、エリラ先輩が Final Fantasy XIV やってるから、ネタバレ注意だけど、リダイレクトしますね。See you guys. またね。Hasta luego, chicos.